Hello, guys. So we started the 3 weeks that are called Bein HaMeitzrim time, the narrow time, in which until the 23rd of July. During this period, the ozone layer, the spiritual ozone layer, is not here. So, in one hand, you can say, okay, so we could have much more light. Yes, because there's no filter, right? So, it's true, there's much more light, but it means that it's not adapted to our vessels. So, but there's a solution. We need to do something that will help us to manage this huge light. We shouldn't like close ourselves, right? There's so much energy, so much light. Light is abundance, is healing, is love, is everything, right? Yes, light also, or let's say if the light of the sun, it can burn also. So, in terms of the cosmos, there is no protection, there is no filter. The light arrives with all its power. From our side, we can do something. What is this thing that we can do? We should activate our own filter. How do we do that? Do you have an idea? So it is with the fact that we activate each time the power of restriction. If it is overcoming our habitual nature, and you can ask and you can check with yourself and remind yourself, what is the name of my ego? What is my habitual tendency? What are what are all the points of my robotic nature? Pay attention of them and know them by heart during this period, and make sure you're not falling into them, because each time all of us fall into those ego points or limitations. Each time we believe in them, each time we get upset, each time we run from responsibility, each time we are silent when we need to speak, or we are talking when we need to listen, right? For each one of us, we have another type of ego. And I hope all of you already did the work with the personal ego with your teacher. Doing this, reminding yourself this and overcoming this, you will assure yourself the filter that you need during this period. So that's the first thing. During this week, we have a help from the energy that is available. The name of the chapter of this week from the Zohar is Matot-Masei. We're talking here about 42 travels, 42 stops of the Israelites from Egypt to Israel. But again, we're not talking here about a story that happened thousands of years ago. We're talking about the process of our soul in this lifetime. Going out of the limitations, all the bandages, all the separation, the fragmentation of this world towards the infinity, the light of the Creator. So, at every moment, we said just before, don't fall into your reactive system. We said that because of the period. But there is something that we want to understand, because we are talking here that the Israelite had to go 42 stops, 42 places, collecting sparks of light they lost for the negativity. Because each time we are reactive, for some reason, we didn't go out of our comfort zone. We fall into our robotic nature. We reacted. We didn't look for a way to share. All those things makes us stay into the envelope of the physicality, Egypt. So we, like through our life, not knowing the knowledge, even knowing the knowledge, but not always doing, it's all of us. We are human, we're not angels and not righteous. It's okay, it's part of our process. So what happens this week? We are going through a process of recollecting all the sparks of light that we lost into the negativity. How do we do that? So first of all, we want to pay attention that we are not losing our sparks, especially during this period. The second thing is knowing that everything that you do, even the smallest thing that seems, I'm walking in the street, oh, I did a mistake, I took another road, or whatever, speaking to a person, whatever it is, we can collect sparks of light that fell into the negativity just by us knowing it. Okay, so one, we said not losing it. On the other side, and then the second point, we say knowing that the sparks are all over the place, being conscious of it, we're starting to collect those sparks of light. The third thing is a constant, I would say, stubbornness, insisting, I want to be related to the light of the Creator. I want to, each time, to see the interference of the light more and more in my life. Most of us are very logic. It's okay. We need to be sometimes. We are in a 1% world. We need to adjust ourselves. All right. But pay attention that this logic doesn't block you. When we start to get used to a limited way of thinking, that we are used to our old way of thinking, pay attention that you are not locked into it. Allow yourself to trust something bigger than what you are used to. Not always easy, but this week we're going to get the strength to be able to do that. Know that each time that you're saying, okay, that was me, or that was my way of thinking yesterday, now I'm letting it go and I'm asking, I want a stronger connection. Be more involved in my life. What happens in that moment? Whatever action you're doing, again, speaking to someone, walking, going to work, being aware of all of this that happens, you become like a magnet to all those sparks to be, yes, glued to you. And they go back to the source of your energy. Those sparks of light, more sparks, that's like in computer games, more sparks of light you're collecting, more energy you have. Energy to push forward, energy to grow to your next level, energy to have clarity in your mind, energy to do things, to have the courage to do things that you didn't dare before. Okay? So when you first, you're paying attention not to lose. Second, when you are aware that every step that you're doing, there's tons of sparks that can be glued to you. And third, that you are insisting, I want the presence of the light of the Creator to be much, much more involved in my life. That allows you to be that magnet, to recharge all the source of your energy. So all your forces, yes, are rejuvenating and you can move forward big time. In order to use all of this for physical elevation for you and also the collective, also the others, there are a few steps we want to be aware of to help ourselves to grow and to help our environment to grow. Yes, we understand today. We're not alone in a boat. We have souls and souls around us that are with us. And we have a collective work to do to bring more and more souls to this awareness, to a more elevated awareness, and not to be careful not to be swollen by all the, I would say, the 1% dramas, yes, that life are bringing us. More we learn Kabbalah, we understand that not everything that looks bad on the moment can be a news, yes, in TV or in the radio, like saying at one sentence, and it takes everybody out of balance, correct? It happens, it could be a call from a doctor, God forbid, or a call from a friend, or a call for like something that you saw in the news. One sentence, and everybody are disbalanced. But if you stay silent, and if you insist that the light will show you the way, you see suddenly, oh, 1 second, what she's saying. Oh, it's not exactly what I imagined. Oh, like what they said yesterday doesn't apply for today. They show a complete different picture of the situation. Don't believe it. Or someone is saying that someone said, and then so why is behaving that way, and you're afraid, and you are like putting up a whole story in your mind about that person or about that workplace or whatever. Yes, pay attention. Sometimes if you go and you speak directly with a person, you see that the situation is completely different, and that person didn't say all of that and didn't mean all of that. We spoke about it right in Milan, and we said the astrologers are telling us, and it started yesterday. The Mars is in Gemini. We are in war of thoughts. What the world, the physical world, will show us, not forcefully, is true. Don't fall into it, and help others also to be strong with the light of the Creator. So what can we do? The first thing, because we are in one unit, yes, to identify or to feel the pain of the other. We're human, and as I am feeling the helping him to dissolve part of the pain. Second, I am checking what should I do for me in terms of my correction, in which way I should change or elevate or do something in my power of, in my personal correction, to reveal more light. Because me changing and me improving and me revealing light will bring that light to that person. So first I was conscious that person is in pain. I can feel that. And then I'm checking in which way I can reveal light. Thinking about this person gets more energy and starts to be able to handle the situation in which that person is. The third thing is insisting and trying everything I can, asking the light of the Creator, show me 1% truth or 1% light in that seems to be dark situation. Yes, not once I shared with you. Could be the extremist situation. There is light in it. If I insist seeing that spark of light, that 1% light, I will be able to identify why this all seems to be dark situation is good. In this way, when I'm searching for that point, that 1% good, I am starting to open myself to more light and rejuvenation. And it helps, if yes or no I spoke to the person, but just by the energy, it helps the other person, that painful person, that person in pain, also to open up and to start to recognize, yes, there is a good thing in that situation. It says, Michael Berg is bringing it, yes, there's two extremes of titled people, yes, the righteous and the bad guy. The righteous, that called tzaddik, why he's called this way? Not because he did amazing actions, that's not the reason. It's because his way of seeing life is in good. That person is a righteous or is good person because he sees life, it's his point of view. He sees life good. And the other person, the other extremity, is a bad person, not because he did actions that are bad, it's something else. But Rasha, or a bad person, is the one that identify life in a bad way. So of course, in our everybody's life, sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like that. But we want to have more times that we see good, not only for us, but helping others also to see the good in every single situation. Not always easy, but insisting the light of the Creator is here. We are not capable always to see it, but it's here. But if we insist, we're going to draw it down. It's going to be clear for us. It's going to be clear also for our environment. We need to insist it to protect humanity, to protect each other. We need to insist to see the light because it's so covered, right, to the level that sometimes people might come to the level of believing, to a point that believing that goodness doesn't exist, light doesn't exist, kindness doesn't exist. Look what's happening in the world now. People don't believe in people. They are afraid. And we need to help to restore that, to believe in the good of people. And then the good of the other will wake up. So before I say, see you next week, I will read from the Zohar, verse number 6 in portion Matot. If you have the Zohar, highly recommend it. It's at the end of portion Pinchas. That part with this paragraph, ask to gain the strength to focus your journey, wanting to focus your desire, asking the light to be more present in your life and to have the strength, as we said, to be here, to be present also for our environment, to be strong enough to feel the pain of others, to be focused of doing my work, my changes, and also being stubborn, insisting, I want to see the light of the Creator in this situation. You have to show me. It's okay to insist with those things. Listen to the words of the Zohar. בתח הזה, כתיב אמרתי עולם חסד ייבנה. מהי חסד? הוא חד מכתרי עילאי דמלכה דנשמתה, דישראל קרא לה קדוש ברוך הוא חסד. על תנאי דיתבנה ולה ישתצא חסד מעלמה. משמע דכתיב ייבנה. I'm wishing you a great and powerful week.